Welcome guys and girls to a brand new video. It's your boy Synergy here, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to bring you a Thin Ice tutorial because interestingly enough I've heard a lot of people requesting a Thin Ice tutorial and how to win and basically some tips and tricks for you to improve your gameplay. So we're actually going to show you quite a few live examples. If you do pay attention to the bottom of the screen, you will also find subtitles on specific moments which will basically explain certain situations while you are on the ice. There's a reason they call me the king of the ice, and I don't disappoint. So stick with me guys and girls, and we will basically teach you how to be pro on thin ice. The first one thing you want to do is you want to avoid the edges. What a good player will do is they'll use the edge to try and bait you into a grab. When they bait you into a grab, you want to actually avoid grabbing them, and you can actually time the grab in order to fling them off the edge. Some players who are slightly more skilled will be able to get out of those grabs. Just bear that in mind because that can fling you backwards. Aggressive plays will always be useful in your videos as well. And by videos, I mean gameplay if it's in your particular situation. Now this one was taken from the winter theme, as it was Christmas, so basically you can know that these clips are quite recent as well. This is taken directly from the old stream. If you do want to check out the stream, it's fb.gg/synergies. You can find all my social links in the description box in the actual video. Boyaka shot. Okay, so we're starting out with the Boyaka shot. Yeah, like so. Let me just make sure that gets knocked out. I'm going to leave some of my commentary so you can hear. But whenever a player grabs you, you must let them know who's boss. Example right here. I'm the boss, baby. Get in that hole. I think we got the Santa. Hahaha, we got him. Damn right we got the Santa. Set some more traps there. The next trick that we can actually give you is basically setting traps in non-obvious places. So you want to set landmines where you can cover them with higher stacks of tiles. What this means is if you notice a stack of tile in a circle and one tile that's slightly lower down, that's the perfect placement for a trap. Because a lot of people will not see that coming. Especially a slightly less experienced player. Did you know you can hit the same tile 6 times? This will only work on a previously untouched tile. So if the tile has already been touched, you will not be able to hit it 6 times. You do this effectively by spamming your jump on it. Screw that guy. And by spam, I mean spam, baby. Cutting players off is one of your most effective tools, but if somebody gets in front of you, it worked! Hello Gustavo! What you want to do is you want to go for the grab and get the easy win. Because the grab will be timed so that you can actually pull them back from behind them. That way you just flick backwards and basically they'll go into the slime. Okay, we'll just leave that little gap. Let them fall into it. When you have a lot of players around you, be very careful that none of them turn to target you into the gaps that you are making, because they can hold you into that gap. You will see more on this a little bit later. The more you move, the less of a target you become. Just creating some little traps around. But you don't want to move in an unnatural movement, so you don't want to just go speeding around the map, because chances are somebody will try and race you and speed with you. This can actually cause you a loss. I want to put a 2 trap here. Be careful of random beans, like that yellow bean. Always time your grabs to hold players on tiles that are ready to break. So for example, if you notice a tile is ready to break and a player is coming towards it, make sure you target that player and you're able to actually get the grab and push them onto that tile that's about to break. That is an easy elimination, which will open up the playing field for you. This is good if I can somehow cut this off. Rule of thumb to thin ice, camera angles are your best friend. By camera angles, you want to use them effectively to 1, see where you can cut players off, and 2, also what you want to do is you want to see where there is more players stacked together because they are going to run each other out. You want to stay away from these areas as much as possible. That's good, I can work with this. Nice little large area to finish off this little gameplay. Boom, baby, baby! I actually want to stand here. Okay. So we do start out with the live stream examples. So this is basically what we call the triangle strat. So all you do is you just make a triangle of blocks. Sometimes you can go back under and you can actually make it completely full. I do like to leave one tile in there because it's more likely that a person is actually going to fall off that tile. No way that worked. That's one. Always looking out for players that are on the edge because they can be easy targets, easy eliminations, as you could see by the Santa previously in the past 30 seconds. Oh god. Let's try and set a land trap right there. Remember, if a player is trying to use the one tile strat, and he's going down, down, wait for him to be on the final layer before you grab him, trap him, and then spam your space to get out of that trap yourself. And that's an easy elimination as well. Moving around will be your best friend in thin ice, but you do not want to move around just by running. You want to move around by what we call bunny hopping. Bunny hop, all on the floor. Okay. By observing players' paths that they actually run into, you can then determine where is the best placement for your traps. So for example, if somebody is running in a straight line, you want to actually set a trap in a straight line where they are running, which will effectively force them to change directions. A lot of players will panic in this scenario. If you're confident, you can dive onto each tile, so you can actually do this per tile. Remember, cutting off players, holding them back can be effective and useful. I had to turn around here because the better space was on this side. When you are grabbed, you want to jump and dive for control of players. It's like this in my area. If you're on mouse and keyboard, that will be space and dive, but you don't want to just hit it once. Ooh! Do a little dance, make a little love, get down snap. Now that that song's over, you don't want to just hit it once. You actually want to jump twice, because if you hit it once, they will get the pullback on you. If you hit it twice and then hit the dive, that is how you get out of a grab from behind. This way you will be eliminated much, much less. Did somebody call a doctor? Because Dr. Synergy is teaching you how to be a king or princess on the thin ice. Here's an example of why you don't stay on the edges. So you could see the snowman was going to be aggressive towards me. We're just going to let him know he's boss. He was actually going to go for that grab, so he was going to target me. You know this because his run path in his pattern was exactly in my direction and nobody else's. Now we are out of the actual live stream demonstrations, so basically we're just going to teach you. You do want to hit those one tiles, but you also want to be careful if somebody is running towards a one tile that's about to break. If they've run directly into you, that can topple you over and you can ragdoll straight into the slime. So always be aware of your surroundings. Remember again, Most important factor of thin ice is your camera angles are your best friend. Camera angles will determine exactly where players are. They will determine the best path and the best optimal route. It's never going to work 100% of the time. It's going to be about 90% of the time. But nothing ever does work 100% of the time. But this will guarantee you more wins more effectively. You can see right here, I cut across, go with the dive stretch just so I don't accidentally get knocked over. We're just going to go straight, force that guy into the error. Now we're going to work on the cutoff. So what we want to do here is we just want to be careful about where we're going, because we do not want to accidentally grief ourselves. This is where the camera angles come into play. We can see where the last player is. Now we're going to effectively run towards them, let them grab us, jump and dive, and that will send them into the slime. If you're prepared, you'll get more wins. Always be prepared for situations that you know are going to be predictable. Predictable situations such as grabbers from behind will actually allow you to outplay them. I know this one is a lengthy video, guys, but it is actually worth the wait. You will learn a lot from this video, and hopefully it does demonstrate to you guys on how to get more wins on the thin ice and how to be more proactive. So right here you can see that I'm actually just sticking to a very small area at the moment. The reason being is if you determine around the area, you see all these players that are jumping and diving, see how the dinosaur just dives into me? That is what a lot of them are trying to do. So some of these players you will end up with teams against you. Teams, whenever you get teams, it's all about avoidance, delays and traps, okay? If you get a team attacking you where they're all together in the one specific area, that is going to be much harder for you to get out of. What you want to do is you want to force separating teams. Even if they are pro teams, you can still take pros out. You just need to bait them into the wrong mistake. Runners and grabbers are actually much less of a threat than a slow jumper. A slow jumper generally knows what they're doing and is more of a threat because they will make things such as the Superman dive, or as we like to refer to in the pro world as the God jumps. You can also use the tiles to boost your speed up, and that way you can guarantee a good little leap of faith. You can see I just get this area here. Notice this guy could actually make the God jump. He misses the God jump. So you always need to bank on players actually making mistakes. Right, so we are moving on into the next example, just taking my time. There are certain strategies that you can actually use in team games where you can split the middle down. These are not very effective strategies, so the people who actually made those strategies are only basically splitting the map up to a 50-50 scenario. If you think about it, if you split the map up with only a singular tile, then you're going to force everybody into just a normal jump, which is not effective at all. In order for this method to work, you actually need to make sure you're taking out two tiles at the same time to force them into a much larger jump, etc. So you can see I'm trolling the outside just because I'm placing the landmines as I'm desiring to. Going towards the corner, I'm just checking out where all the other players are. I notice the ninja behind me. I stand still in case he goes for the grab play. That way I can counter grab him. But remember, running can be effective when timed correctly, as shown in this example right here. We're just going to turn our camera angles, see the optimal route, turn around, right now, make the jump, and then force the other guy into the error first. There you go, he topples over, which gives us inevitable space. Bunny hops, baby. Don't forget, guys and girls, if you do like the video, and if you do find this video useful, consider subscribing to the channel. I bring tutorials out like these all the time. We're a YouTuber, Instagrammer, TikToker, everything, you name it, you can find it in the description. Right, so we are moving on. We're actually in the festive spirit at the minute, so we are using the festive costumes. This one is the elf. Now you can see the danger here is the dinosaur. The dinosaur is running willy-nilly because they are scared. Scared players can be more of a threat than non-scared players. The reason being is, scared players will run and dart and they can topple you over in a matter of seconds without you even expecting it to happen. So you do want to avoid scared players at all costs. If a player is scared, they're more likely to take you out than you are to take them out. The reason being is they'll come from nowhere and they'll just come darting without giving two shits. Okay, here we go. To finish off the series, just a nice little win. Enjoy, guys!